Welcome back. I'm so glad you could join me here today. Today we're going to be doing a nice little simple painting. I hope you could follow along with me. Let me have them run the colors across the screen that you'll need to paint along with me. While you're doing that, let me tell you what I got done up here. On my regular 16 by 20 inch canvas, pre-stretched double prime, the only difference is this time I put it on portrait mode. And as you may notice, instead of alizarin crimson, I have bright red on my palette. The reason for that is because um, I ran out of alizarin crimson and I had to replace it. The next best thing for me was bright red. But let's get started with today's painting. Today we're going to be doing a nice little sunset scenery. Let's go ahead and just block it in. Blocking in a little bit of cadmium yellow in there. A nice soft glow. There we are. Very simple. Now, let's go ahead. Sorry about that. I was having a little technical issues, but we're back and running. So, as I was continuing to say, it's just blocking in a little bit of cadmium yellow, and let's go into a little bit of bright red. Some nice, strong bright red, very little. It'll eat up your whole painting if you put too much. There we are. Maybe we see a little bit just popping through. Who knows? It might not even show up. So a little bit of Prussian blue and bright red. Just mixing it up on the brush. Just to give us a nice lavender color. Let's come up here and simply just do crisscross strokes. There. That's simple. You have yourself your basic sky color. Now all I'm going to do is grab my good old 2-inch brush. These are natural bristle, unlike the other ones. And we're gonna just go and do crisscross. If it gets too harsh on one spot, you can tap it out, then go crisscross once again. If you're struggling with blending, you can always just tap it out. It's a nice little trick I learned. It works great. So just crisscross, crisscross. You can see there's a harsh line still, so I would tap. Once you tap, just go crisscross. Okay? And then bring it all together. That's simple. Now, let's go ahead and let's put some water in there. Just a little bit of that color. So it's going to be a little muddy, which I don't really mind. At least I think I don't. I'm gonna add a little bit more blue to it. You can scrub it on. If anything, we can change the appearance of the water later on. Or we can change the fact that there's water. Who knows? We haven't done a mountain the old way that I used to do it, so let's go ahead, let's do that. Let's come right up here. There. You can hear how tough I'm scratching the paint off my canvas. There. Just scratch it off. All you want is a basic stain on the canvas, basically. And all I'm going to do, grab my 2-inch brush. To me, it doesn't matter if it's clean or dirty. Some people might tell you it does matter, but to me, it doesn't matter. I'm just pulling the paint and just pull and drag. Alright, point and drag that paint. Just point it, drag it. Point it, drag it. There. There we are. Now, let's go ahead. We're going to pick up a little bit of white and a little bit of mountain mixture just to not have pure white. And all we're going to do, cut a roll of that white, as you can see, and let's go up here to the canvas and just simply, no pressure. No pressure, just let that paint glide off. There. Let me know down in the comments, in the comment section below, if I'm the only one who does this, but when I'm running out of a color, let's say like this color, I will leave a little spot so when I mix it, I know if it's accurate or not. That's what I do. If you guys have different ways of doing it, let me know. I'm always open to new ideas. Shoo. Very gentle though. I think this is harder than the other technique because this one you actually have to be very delicate and you can't mess up the other parts of the mountain process. So up to you guys what you want to practice. This is a fun way to do a mountain too. Nice, fun, and quick. Okay, let's go into a little bit of mountain mixture and a little bit of white. Same color, just darker. Not completely dark, but dark enough. Shoot, what the heck. Let's throw in a little bit of bright red just to kind of do a more lavender color. You mix it up to your likings, really. If you want just one certain color, by all means, have at it. Let's come up here. That's too dark. That's not even gonna appear on camera. Let's cut this row. That's a little better, but still too light now. I think I'm gonna just work with this. I'm satisfied with this color. And that's what matters. Push and just pull across. There we are. There. Ever so gently. Just let the paint graze the canvas. We can pop this shadow to go in front of all of those. I'm gonna add more black just to do this cool little trick. a little bit of that color, and we're gonna blend that in just to make some spots kind of pop out more than others. Let me clean off my knife before we start blending it in. You blend it by just going over. Okay? And maybe a few little spots there. Now just going back to make some highlights just to fix up some of those highlight areas. There we are. And just like that, you have yourself a nice simple mountain. Now I'm just going to tap the edges, the corners, following those angles. Tap, tap, tap. And just go crisscross. Now, let's go ahead. Let's go into a little bit of mountain mixture. And a little bit of cadmium yellow. Just mixing on my 2-inch brush. Let's come up here and just block in a foothill that just goes that whole area. Now I'm just going to pull a couple of reflections. Pull up for little indications of a few little trees out there. Now, a little bit more black in that brush. A little bit more yellow. Just darker tones. And just come up here and just block in what's going to be some grass, I'd figure. There we are. Few little reflections. Shoom. Much quicker than the other technique, but it's just personal preference, really. Now load up my 2-inch brush. We'll come up here and just put some few little highlights to indicate that grass. I thought I would give you guys the old way because we've been doing mostly the new way, and there's people who got attached to this channel for the old way I used to do, so I just thought about that and said, oops, I've been doing it my way. I got comfortable with one way, and that happens. That happens, and I realized, and I'm making it up for those people. There we are. Now, let's go ahead. A little bit of bright red. And that green color we mixed for that baseland color. A little bit more crimson. Now I'm going to grab a little bit of titanium white just to lighten it up. Let's go up here, and it's going to stand out because we have black there. shoom. Even though this brown isn't the brightest, it will stand out due to it due to the black backdrop or background. That background color or base color, due to that, it will stand out a bit more. Now, let me go ahead, a little bit of titanium white, cut a roll, and just a few little water lines. You wouldn't see many. Just kind of lean that palette knife and just scrub on a few. Now, let's go back to our green color. Just mixing it up on the brush. And as things get closer to you in the landscape, they should get darker. So keep that in mind when mixing up your colors. Let's come up here and just tap in a few little layers of grass. Maybe it comes out to there. There. Let's go ahead, load it up with some light color. There we are. And each layer I kind of add a extra little highlight so I know which one's which. There we are. A little bit of darker color just to dull down my yellow so it won't be as bright. There. And just like that, we have ourselves a bit of grass. You can blend that yellow. You choose what you want to do. Already, you can call this painting complete, but we're going to keep going with it. So, let me grab a fan brush, number 6, load it up with mountain mixture. Loading that paintbrush full with paint. And let's come up here and just maybe there is another one right there. Maybe. Shoot, what the heck. There lives the granddaddy of all. Now, load your brush up, tilt it, and just fire away. These trees live in your brush. All you have to do is tap them out. It's like doing Z's or just zigzag pattern. Whatever really helps you memorize this. Just tapping. You don't want to slide. You want to, well, depending what style. But for this style, you want to tap it on. You want to push those bristles, and the bristles will do all the work for you. Now, let me load up my brush. It's going to be a big one, so hang on. There. Okay? And just go at it. There we are. Very simple. Now, let's go to our cadmium yellow with that same dirty brush. And we're just going to tap on a few little tree highlights. Just here and there. Same thing, you're just tapping on one side this time. There. There we are. Now, for the main one, I'm going to add some Prussian blue. Just to kind of act like if it was a phthalo green type color. So just adding Prussian blue so I could shift that color value. Let's come up here. Look at that different value. A little bit more yellow, just a little bit. And don't worry, we're gonna add in our extra little highlight. That way this one stands out the most because it's the one in the front. So let's go into a little bit of titanium white and cadmium yellow. Your brush could be dirty, it doesn't really matter. And just has a little bit of green in it too. Few little spots wherever I think the sun would hit it a bit more. There. Maybe. Shoom. We have a little bit more of that yellow side. There. Okay, let me step back. I like that, but it feels empty on this side. So I'm gonna go into a little bit of mountain mixture. Same dirty 2-inch brush. And let's come up here and just pop in what's going to be some bushes and all that fun stuff. You know what? We gotta make it higher because I spread it out too early. There we are. That took up a lot of space. Look at how much space that takes up. So, all that I'm going to do is go into cadmium yellow. Same dirty 2-inch brush. And let's come up here and just add in a few little highlights. We'll come back and, if anything, tweak it a little bit. But for the most part, that looks pretty fine to me. Now, we're going to go into a little bit of cadmium yellow, but this time on my 1-inch brush. I'm just cleaning out my palette so I have a bit more space of clean color. And just come up here and really blocking in a few little bushes. There, just pushing in a couple bushes in there. So just decide where they live. There. Let me add a little bit of bright red into my yellow. give me a nice orange color. There. Just staple on a few little bushy things going on. A little more red. Let's pop in. Ooh, little rascal in there. That bright red. Now, little cadmium yellow. Load it up. And actually, let's put in a path. So, just whatever, really. As long as there's brown, people will see it as a path. Doesn't even have to be meant as a path. As long as it's brown. Let's come up here and just... Ooh, look at that. Nice orange color. There. All you have to do is push up on your brush. A little bit of black just to turn my yellow green. Maybe that's too dark. There we are. And now I'm gonna just flip it on the other side and just put random little bushes. Okay, just mixing up random colors. There. Going back to my 2-inch brush, and we're gonna fix this grassy path. Okay, and a few little extra highlights on our tree. If you want to, you can scratch off a few little sticks and twigs, little details. And let me just fix a couple water lines. You want to make sure they're more straight than crooked. I just saw them from afar and realized how they looked. Oh, can you guys spot my mistake? I left this in the middle. I forgot to do my reflections and add a little bit of water lines and dirt. Let me grab a little bit of brown. Just doop doop doop. Okay. And just a little bit of brown. Just smallest indication. You don't need much. You also don't want to get rid of that shadow color. Fix up the grass if you don't like how it looks afterwards. You can push up as well. And water lines. Water lines, that's important. Cut a roll. And with that, that concludes today's painting. I really hope you enjoyed this painting. Try this painting out. If you do, send me an email. I would love to see what you create. Recently, I've been a little slow with my email responses since I've been getting more and more busy, but I'll get to them one by one. I really hope you enjoy this painting, try this painting out, and I'll see you in my next video. Until then, take care, my friends. Goodbye.